of the main ideas for Farang was always that we wanted to bring together creative people in the world of parkour. And today we're going to do exactly that. I'm going to introduce you to Jakob. He's a German guy, and he does some really awesome art and animation.
Hello. Servus, Jason. Nice to meet you, Emily.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Jakob, can you please explain what's going on?
Yeah, well, these are some slides.
These are some slides. There's like a slide octopus kraken. This is the most awesome playground. What the hell? Go all the way to the top slide. Did you do the highest one yet?
No.
You go backwards, I go forwards at the same time. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Yep. So yeah, who the fuck are you?
Well, I'm Jakob. I'm from Germany, and I'm an illustrator, motion graphics designer, and I'm also a tracer. In parkour, you develop this specific kind of view where you walk around and you see a spot and think to yourself, oh man, that's a really good spot to train. And I feel like in art, you develop a kind of similar view on the world and what's around you, and I feel like both of these views are kind of merging together. This is expressed in my illustrations, I think. I'm really afraid of this, of sitting in front of a white paper and start doing something creative and having the pressure to do this best work you ever could do. And my approach is that I'm just start drawing with a line, and that way I'm not afraid of doing mistakes, and the pressure isn't as high as if I approach to do a really perfect kind of art. And I think that's also in parkour. I think you just have to start moving, and when something is not really as perfect as you might thought it would be, then it's okay, and maybe you can do something out of it.
Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3.
Oh shit!
How's it okay?
Do you know this this feeling? It's called flow, and it is something that you have when you are really into something, when you focus on one thing and you forget all about what's around you and you forget about time. And I really love this feeling. Yeah, I'm always searching for that. And the funny thing is, I think that's also happening when I'm drawing. I get this nice feeling of flow.
When I first found Jakob, I found him on Instagram, and right away I looked through all of his feed and I was like, what he's doing is so awesome. I would love to do something together. And the first thing that came to mind was Farang clothing. So I said, Jakob, do you want to do some graphics for some of our cuts? And Jakob said,
yes, obviously.
So we have actually some prototypes here. Basically, we took some of the work of Jakob that really features parkour and just wanted to put them on some very simple cuts. So it's really about the artwork. What was going on when you made this?
It's still from an animation, and I did all these drawings from a guy doing a climb up, and I wanted to create a pattern, and I think it was really nice. And then I put this big bar behind it because it reminds me of a wall or something.
This is what I call parkour porn. We really love this print actually because when you look at it, it doesn't scream parkour. It's just a stair set. But to every parkour person, it's something so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I was walking around and drawing some things, and I saw the staircase, and I immediately thought about parkour. And I wasn't really interested in the architecture itself, but I knew that it's interesting for me because I find it aesthetic because of parkour, because the potential it has.
So when I saw this piece of Jakob, and I felt like, oh, that's the tools we use when we do parkour. Did you even think about that when you made this, or does it have nothing to do with that?
When I made it, it hasn't anything to do with parkour actually.
That's what I thought too, actually. I thought he probably didn't think about parkour, but that's the only thing I think about, so.
Yeah, but I asked you the same question, and you brought up that it's like essential for doing parkour, and I thought, yeah, that makes sense.
When I saw this drawing of Jakob, I immediately, my brain went, that's a Farang logo. Did you think of Farang when you made it?
Yeah, I did.
That is so awesome. I feel so honored that it kind of found its way, in a weird way, into your work.
Yeah, I feel like Farang has a really big influence on parkour. Also in a way that you do really aesthetic things, and I really like your logo and your style and your clothing. Yeah, and I think that influenced me a lot.
That's so interesting to hear. I found your stuff later on, not knowing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what he's doing is so inspiring. So we're in a circle that is infinitely, we're inspiring each other. Okay, ready? We were talking about it earlier, how Picasso said he had to paint all his life to learn how to paint like a child, and realized parkour is really similar, where you have to train so long to then move the same way you used to move as a kid, because that's when we did all of this naturally, just jumping around. So we made it from the horse to the wall. Now the next challenge is to make it from the wall to the horse and then to the wall. It's scary. Oh, now I have to get it. Nice. That is probably the hardest jump I've ever done in parkour, ever.
Control. Fun.